For generations, the way that we communicate with each other was referred to as communication styles or learning styles. As we've learned to love, serve, and connect, I've changed my thought to calling these connection styles. There are many different ways that we connect with other people. What we'll be looking at in the next few videos are some common theories of dominant ways in which people connect with each other, natural ways with which we are born to connect. And while some may seem natural at connecting one way, it may feel unnatural to connect another. It has a lot to do with the biology of the brain, but also with the culture in which we're raised, in that we connect with each other in different ways. Now, we're not going to look at all the connection styles. There are hundreds of theories about how people connect, but we are going to be looking at some common ways in which we connect with each other. We'll take a brief look again at verbal and written connections and how we connect with each other using words and communicate with each other well that way. We're going to take another brief look at how we connect auditorily and some signs of some of those who prefer to have an auditory experience and in the world. We're going to, for lack of a better pun, take a look at those who are very visual, who prefer to see what's going on and have a visual experience with the world around them. We'll take a look at the kinesthetic, the technical, the hands-on personalities of the world. We're going to spend some time looking at the types of personalities who tend to be more artistic or emotional in the way that they make decisions, particularly major life decisions, based on the way that they perceive the world around them, and oftentimes contrasted with those who tend to be perceived as analytical or rational, who prefer to see the numbers. They need time to think about it. These are the engineers of the world, where they're not the artists of the world, but they're very good at what they do. We're also going to explore interpersonal connections contrasted with intrapersonal connections. Most people are familiar with interpersonal connections because they're required to work inter or between other people. What many of us, what's common in the modern world that we lose track of is our own intrapersonal communication, how we communicate with ourselves, and how that affects how we communicate with others in the surrounding world. And then we're going to look at some common neurodivergent ways of perceiving the world. Neurodivergence has to do with the way that the brain biologically and physiologically interacts with the world around it, takes in information through the senses, perceives the environment around it, and then seeks to make sense of the environment, and the ways that modern culture and the modern world can negatively impact the way that some of our connections interact with the world, or can positively impact through their connections as well. So let's take a little ride and make some more connections through people's dominant means of connecting with the world.